Okay, welcome to Parallel Lines Cut by a Transversal with Algebra. Okay, and I know we're struggling with this. It's okay. Hopefully you can watch this video, and I'm going to show you one of each type of question, and then I'll give you an extra credit assignment here. Okay, if you answer the 3 questions on your paper and show the work, I'm going to show you what the answer is. You're just going to check your answer with the ones that I got. Okay, so you hit pause, and then I'll show you what the answers are. So that'll be at the end. Let's look at the first one. I have written now we'll put you down here. I have put the right here. Determine if the 2 angles are congruent. That's step 1. So we are going to write what I'm going to do to help us determine if the 2 angles are congruent. I think it's going to be helpful if I write the angles in here. 16 plus 3x, that's this angle, and then the measure of angle 2 is 50 degrees. Okay, so I can look at those and I can tell one of them is obtuse and the other one is acute. Therefore, they are not congruent to one another. So what you're going to do is you're going to determine if they're congruent. You're building up to writing an equation. We need to write an equation. There's 2 ways you could write the equation. There's the right way and the wrong way. All right? So you just got to pick which one it is. If the 2 angles are congruent, you're going to put the angle is equal to the other angle. So if those 2 angles were congruent, I'd write 16 plus 3x is equal to 50. But since they're not equal to each other, that means they're supplementary. That's angle plus angle is equal to 180. So how we're going to write this is 16 plus 3x plus the other angle. So the 2 angles, I'm going to add them together, and they are going to equal 180. This plus this is equal to 180. All right? So the 2 angles are going to be equal to 180. You're going to set them equal. So we're now going to combine like terms. I'm going to combine the 16 and the 50 together on the left hand. See, they're already on the left-hand side. 16. Oops. Being temperamental. Whoa! I'm going to combine the 16 and the 50 together. And I'm just going to leave those on the left-hand side. All right? So I'm going to write 3 plus 66 is equal to 180. And I'm going to write my equal sign, guys. And since I have integers on both sides of the equal sign, I like doing the boxes. I'm going to put 3x on the left-hand side. I'm just going to leave it on the left-hand side. I'm going to leave 180 on the right-hand side. But since 66 is on the left and I got to combine it with my other integer, I'm going to change the side. I change the sign. It's going to be minus 66. So this is 3x is equal to 180 minus 66. I don't know that off the top of my head. All right, so I'm going to go over off to the side. I'm going to do 180 minus 66. That 0 becomes a 10. That 18 becomes a 17. 10 minus 6 is 4. 17 minus 6 is going to be 11. So this is saying 3x is equal to 114. And I don't know which number multiplied by 3 is 114. So I'm going to go over off to the side again, and I'm going to say which number times 3 is 114. Or you're going to do the inverse operation of multiplying by 3. You're going to divide both sides by 3. You're saying 114 divided by 3. 3 goes into 11 3 times. Bring down the 2 and the 4, and 3 goes into 24 8 times. So this is our answer here. It says solve for x because, I mean, that's what the question is asking you, is to solve for x. That's what we did here. So we're not done. That's what it says my answer is. So I'm going to write 30. It says x is 38. So I'm going to put 38 right here. Now I need to ask myself if that is reasonable. Okay, so what I'll do here is just going to add another little sticky note on top. So this angle is 16 plus 3x. Okay, 16 plus 3x. Well, I'm not going to write 16 plus 3x because I know what x is. It tells me that 16 plus 3. I don't want to write my x because I know that x is 38. So I'm going to put 38 in for x, and then, oh, that should be a plus. 3 times 38. All right, I rewrote that expression. Guys, this is the last step. You're going to plug the solved value, in this case that's 38, back in for x to figure out what all the angles are going to be. This is going to be 16 plus 3 times 38. 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 3 is 9, 10, 11. So it's going to be 114. All right, and then when you add those together, you're going to get 6 plus 4 is 10. So that's going to be 130. 16 plus 14, or 114 is 130, and that's exactly what it should be, because if you're here, it's saying the measure of angle 2 is 50. The other angle has to add up to 180, so it's got to be 130. All right, so that makes our answer reasonable. Now this next question, I'm going to erase everything I just did, and I just want you to understand this next question has nothing to do with this, with the last question. So now we know, now we see that measure of angle 3 is 5x plus 12, and the measure of angle 4 is 67. Let's see. Okay, eraser. I'm going to erase everything for that first question, and now I'm just going to look at question number 2. So I'm just going to hide this. Okay. It's been doing this a lot. I think it knows that I'm trying to make a video here. I'm just going to hide that, okay? So now we're only looking at angles 3 and 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to write where angle 3 is, it's 5k plus 12. Now we're not solving for x, we're solving for k. We're going to write 3 is 5k plus 12. And the measure of angle 4 is 67. So the first thing you need to be asking yourself is, are those two angles congruent to one another? And they are, because they're alternate exterior angles, and alternate exterior angles are going to be congruent. So if they're congruent, that means they're equal. This is how we're going to write our equation. The two angles are equal to each other, so you put them equal to each other. 5k plus 12 is equal to 67. And now you're going to do your boxes here. I'm going to do 67 minus 12 because I changed the side, I changed the sign. Over here, I'm going to do 5k. 67 minus 12, I believe that gives you, or we're going to just leave 5k on the left-hand side. 6 minus 1 is 5. That's going to give me 55. Which number times 5 is 55. We're not done. The value of k is 11. We need to see if that is a reasonable answer. So I'm going to do it over here. 5k plus 12. Well, I don't want to write that because I know what k is. I'm going to write the value of k to figure out what the measure of the angle is. So I'm going to put an 11 in there. 5 times 11. Oh, okay, it disappeared. So we're going to do 5k plus 12. Or instead, I'm going to do 5 times 11 plus 12. Because that's my value of k. I'm going to say that's 55 plus 12. And 55 plus 12 is equal to 67. And that's what it should be. That angle is acute. So that number is acute. 67 degrees is an acute number. So that angle has to be acute. And we're going to say, since they're alternate interior angles are congruent to one another, they've got to be congruent. Okay? We're going to do one more here. Look at this question. If you've got this, if you feel like you can move on, just fast forward to the last part of this video and write down what the answers to the next several questions are, the next couple questions. Angles 3 is 2x. Angle 4 is 4x minus 30. Are the two angles congruent to each other? One of them is obtuse, the other one is acute. Obviously, those are not going to be congruent, so I'm going to set them equal to 180. 4x minus 30 plus 2x is equal to 180. So now I have two variables I need to combine. This is going to give me 6x minus 30 is equal to 180. Now I'm going to change the side. This is 180, but this looks a little bit different. This is going to be plus 30 because it's a minus on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, it's going to be plus. So this is going to give you 6x is equal to 210. 180 plus 30. Yeah, it's 210. Now I'm going to divide this out by 6, divide this out by 6, and I'm going to get x is equal to 6 into 210. 6 into 21 is going to be 3. So 3 is 18. That's going to give me 30, so it's going to be 35. That doesn't mean the angle is 35 degrees. It means the value of x is 35. So what is the measure of angle 3? I'm going to say 2 times 35, which I believe is 70. So this is 35. We're saying that the measure of angle 3 is going to be 35, which would make the measure of, so let me erase this. This is going to be 35. No, not 35. 70. If that's 70, the obtuse angle is going to be 180 minus 70, which I believe gives you 110. So this is going to be 110. Or it's 4 times 35 minus 30. All right, that's the other way of doing it. Guys, if you would like, come down here and let me zoom out here a little bit. Okay, here are your next three questions. I'm going to write the answers, or I'm going to just show you what the answers are. I'm going to tell you what the value of x is. I'm going to tell you what all the acute angles are, what all the obtuse angles are. So right now, write the questions down, pause the video, answer them, and then check your work. Don't just write the correct answers down. That's not going to help you at all, okay? I mean, you need to make sure you know how to do this, so whenever you get assessed on it, you could do it on your own. I know how to do it. I need you to know how to do it. This is question question number the one on the left. The x is equal to 3. All of the acute angles are 40. All the obtuse angles are 140. So you need to figure out how would you get x. You got to show your work in order to get any credit for this, okay? And I'll give you extra credit. 15x minus 5. The other angle is 40. So x is 3. So the one in the middle, x is 7. The acute angle is 75. The obtuse angle is 105. And the one on the right, x is 42. Therefore, the acute angle is 49 and the obtuse angle is 131. Hope you understand all this. I believe in you. Peace.